The difference this time around, I began to notice it from the start, so I figured I would chronicle it. Well, two of the fundamental differences. One, love. Absolute and total love. Despite any challenges, despite the fact that love is never perfect, despite the fact that it's always easier to be alone and drift. To have found love that you thought was just a thing of your youth, biochemical reaction to your hormones, to have found it in adulthood is probably what saved me, but it also inspired me to want better, not just for myself, but for the person I was with, people I was with. The other thing was obviously the world shifted a little bit. I didn't get a chance to really do a couple things I wanted to do for some people in my life. They were older and they passed on, grandparents and such. Big difference this time around being, I don't need to hide anything. I think I am finally, at 40 years old, managed to shut out the stigmatizing, callous, often very, very unempathetic voices of our culture that have raised us all. It's nobody's fault in particular, not individual. Hey. But the culture that we have lived in for so long teaches us that if there is something about you that is not part of the average, the status quo, then if you're going to struggle with it, you better struggle with it in silence, because you should be ashamed of it, because it is not common enough to be considered something that deserves empathy. I think that we see this in the treatment of people with mental health issues, with addiction issues, who end up both having the same issue, homelessness often, recidivism, and crime. The point being, I'm tired of feeling like I'm just as much to blame as the ridiculously 1950s outdated standards of our culture. I feel too complicit. If I'm going down a different path in my life for the rest of my life, then I want it to count for others as well. I've lost too many. I've seen now the faces of friends of childhood marred with it, unrecognizable almost. But I recognize them. I will not forget them. I can't. I don't have a choice. And furthermore, my mother, she still lives. She still has a lot of years in her, and I want her to have that. And again, back to love. When somebody wakes you up, you can't go back to sleep. Not like that. So the reason for my excessive display of what I'm about to undertake is because people need to know how hard it is for everyone else that didn't get a chance to do what I'm going to do. And I'll tell you what, when it's all over and said and done with, I might actually go look myself in the mirror again. Because as much as, and just let me say, as much as dozens and dozens and dozens of you reached out right away and just showered me with confidence and your pride in me. I might not feel that yet, I definitely don't myself, but it's there now because you have it. And if somebody I know, or or somebody who's yet to be born, can know that it's okay for some of us to do this, then fewer of us will suffer in silence and die. Or worse, become monsters of our own lives. Hurt others. It's time for me to break my own personal cycle. It's time for me to break the generational cycle of my family. And honestly, well, all that will be left then is to be proud that I took what I could learn from them, put it to use in myself. And as soon as I got better and I was able to, without risking anything too crazy, I started helping others. Because that is truly my greatest addiction. And again, it comes back to love, to joy, to peace, to kindness, empathy. These are things that get shut off from you when you are when you're in those places. So yeah, I wish myself luck. Let's do it, buddy. This one goes out to my love. I love you, Christine. You are amazing.